So during the improvements phase, I did two improvements. One was a bike trainer, and the other one was walking outside. So the first one, the bike trainer, I selected this one because one, it was not too expensive. I bought it for $50 on Craigslist. I can stay home, less travel, time to gym. I already have a bike, a relatively small footprint. Don't have to deal with weather and can do it any time of the day. At least I know. So the bike trainer did not work, and the reasons why it did not work is when I tried it inside the house. First of all, the house is very small, so there's not a lot of space. It was really loud. Like I said, I did not know these bike trainers were loud, at least the one I got from Craigslist. I had to set up the bike each time. That was not so user-friendly. And I tried it morning and afternoon, and same thing. In the garage, it was too cold. It was too boring for me, and not a lot of space there either, and I had to set up the bike each time as well. It has been asked why I just don't ride my bike outside. Well, the reason for that is because, like I said, it's been raining and cold, and when I ride my bike with the speed, it makes it feel even colder. And the rain in my face and the cold, and I just don't like it. And two is because I have fallen in the past when it's raining, and I don't want to do that. Not at my age. Improvement number 2 was walking outside. And why I chose this one is because I don't have knee pain or back pain when I'm compared to running. I don't really have a recovery time as with running. With running I have to wait maybe at least 2 to 3 days to run again. Now I don't have that. It's not as strenuous, and it still elevates my heart rate, and I can be outside. So this one did work, and this one is what I consider the improvement that I did, and it worked well. So after I decided I was going to walk, I took 8 weeks of data up until December 10, which that was 2 additional weeks after I presented my Analyze, Improve presentation. So a total of 8 weeks. So I want to do further analyze and do some comparison of the data of the instances per week and total minutes per week. So as you can see here, during the before improvement phase, or the measure phase, I had 5 weeks, and this is the light green. And then after the improvements, I had 8 weeks total. This first week is when I tried the bike trainer, and then I decided I did not like it, so then I started walking, and then it was fairly consistent. A lot of this was also due to me not working on Fridays. That really helped a lot. And then this last week I had to travel, and well, I was only able to do 2. Here is a chart, and it shows before the improvements on how much total minutes of cardio activity per week. So there's 5 weeks, and then the quite drastic change, I would say, on the total minutes per week of cardio activity once I did the improvements. So this is me running, and this is me walking. I also did a control chart. I wanted to see for total minutes per week. I did a control chart. Here's the X bar, and here's the range. I just wanted to see how I am doing, and as you can see here, it's pretty much in control. Here are the weeks when I did a lot and when I did little, but I don't have any points outside of my upper limits or my warning limits. Same with the range, seems to be pretty good. Not much I can say here, so I like it. Now I wanted to know if there is any statistical difference within this information. I just just want to show this again. I mean, to me, this looks like there is quite a bit of difference, at least numerically. So I just wanted to see if there's statistical difference between the two. So what I did was, I don't have population information, so I'm basically comparing two samples. The first sample is the before improvements data, and the second sample is the after improvements data. So I'm comparing the mean of those two samples. I'm comparing two means. I did a two-tailed test because I wanted to know if they're equal or not equal. My null hypothesis was that before and after data are the same, and the alternative hypothesis is that before and after data are not the same. I used the t-distribution because I do not know the population variances, so I had to use that distribution. So for the total minutes, what I did was, well, I figured what I had to do. I did all the math. I got the means from before improvements and my standard deviation, and the mean and standard deviation after the improvements. I had to get my SP, and then I had to get my t value, and then the value from the chart. They are different, so I was able to reject my null hypothesis, and that means that yes, there is a statistical difference. That makes me really happy, and the improvement that I made had an impact on my total minutes of cardiovascular activity performed. On my total instances, how many times I actually do cardiovascular activity per week, I did the same thing. So this was before improvements, and this was after the improvements. I did all the math, and yes, there is a difference. I was able to reject my null hypothesis, and yes, there is a difference. The improvement did have an impact on the total instances of activity performed. So was my goal achieved? Remember, I had two goals. One, 30 minutes of cardio per instance, or 90 total minutes per week, and 3 times per week. So I did here a chart of the percentage of achievement, and this was on the instances, or the 3 times per week. So before improvements, I had a 47% achievement. So I wasn't able to achieve my 3 times per week. After the improvements, I had a 129%, and this includes all the additional 2 weeks after the analyzed and improved presentation. This is the final. So it was pretty good. This is me walking, and this is me running. Same here. This was the total minutes, or 30 minutes per instance, or 90 minutes per week. Before the improvement, I achieved 43% of my goal. After the improvement, I achieved 161% of my goal. So it's great. This is walking, this is running. So that improvement was really good. Also, not having to work on Fridays really helped a lot. So my conclusions. For one, exercise does make me feel much better. It just helps me a lot. One thing that I discovered too is that I'm not as young as I thought I was. So running does have an impact in my body. It's quite hard in my knees and joints. So walking is definitely better for me. My life is quite busy with full-time work, school, and family, and I don't think it's going to get any or less busy. So I have to continue doing what I'm doing. So walking was better than running or biking to achieve my goals. That was very evident based on the data that we looked at. Six Sigma methodology does work, and it is great if you apply it correctly. And I am glad I learned more about it on this class, and hopefully finishing school will help me continue with healthier habits. So I really need to finish school to continue with my healthier habits. But thank you, Dr. Joyner, and thank you, classmates, and great job, everyone, in your project.